Een seconde, een seconde.
I'm sure that Nietzsche is there, but
my teacher of philosophy told me 15 years after I finished school, he saw me by the chief rabbi of France, and he said, "Wow, I have a student who became a rabbi. I have, how do you say, I didn't succeed.
yeah.
I didn't succeed. If after I have given him a lesson about Nietzsche, and he's still a rabbi, so I didn't succeed." But how do you say, on the end exam in philosophy, it was the question, what is pushing men to work? To work.
Nice question.
So I said, of course, it's how do you say? It's a klala. How do you say klala? Klola. That when we were how do we say? When we were sent out of the Gan Eden.
Die mag je nu hebben. Maar we hebben. Nou ja, wij gebruiken hem ook. Ja, ik heb de koe daar staan.
Je donne un chiot, je vous rappelle dans une heure. So I said first, do we say, so it's a klola. When Adam Arishon was sent out of the Gan Eden, he was asked, Al char b'cho tichye, that he has to בזיעת אפיך תאכל לחם, he has to okay, yeah. And the second, he said to the lady, ובעץ בי תולדי בנים, and when you are in labor, so it's also labor. So for men and for lady, it's a klol. So that's the first thing that we have to know, that it's what is pushing the men to work. It's the klol that was given to the humanity. And then I explained that on the other hand, when we work, we get, of course, liberated, because when we are working in Mitzrayim for someone else, so it's avdut. But if you are working for yourself, it's freedom. It gives you frame. So we are going to speak about another frame, and it's an important frame in our Jewish life. And not only it's an important, but I think that it's the frame. And we don't need to crystal it, to, if you can let me this, so I can put,
sorry.
Okay, no problem. It's my stand-up. Sorry. So we have a few frames from the halacha who are bending us that we are not free to do what we want. But how say Malraux said that in the war we were the most free people because we need to make choice to be or in the good side or in the wrong side. So a frame is not how do we say is not eto. How do we call it? A frame is not
Gangbuis.
Yes, but it's the space where you can do things, and you need to have the frame to do it on the right way, because if you don't have the frame, you don't know where to do what. So if we have according to most of the poskim, we have an obligation to pray. Okay, an obligation mina Torah to pray. Rambam doesn't agree. He says it's only in a war situation. In a war situation, then there is an obligation mina Torah, according to the Torah. But if it's not a war situation, if it's a normal situation, it's a rabbinical obligation. But we have an obligation to pray every day.
3 times.
That's after. That means that's already the 3 times, and how and what, that's the frame in the frame. That means that we say Avraham tiken shachrit, Yitzchak tiken minche, Yaakov tiken arvis. So that's, how do you say, how to
Put in the frame.
put in the frame. Now, when is shacharit? When is beginning the day? When is beginning the day? So we have,
In
Of
Israel,
course.
there's shoes that take this to
yes,
exactly when the sun is
absolutely. So we are going to explain. We are to explain it. So the first thing is Amud HaShachar. What is Amud HaShachar? Amud HaShachar is when sun has an influence on the world. You don't see the sun. It's not sun setting, but it's no more night. That means it begins to be a little bit. How do we say?
ochtendschimmering.
Oh, good. So
Hoe moet ik dat gaan doen? Ochtendschimmering.
so we see it on the east part of our, how do we say, globe. Not the globe, our space. When we look on the east, we see that it's a little beginning.
But was the offering when we could start the offering, and
Once
there was a quite difficulty because it could be they didn't know exactly what was the time. Dus
So,
het kon de maan zijn of weet ik veel wat allemaal.
so of course we have much easier life than they had in the past. Why? Because we have a watch.
De watch.
Okay? We have a watch. We can look on the watch and to know exactly, and we have on our calendar exactly at 7:24. Tomorrow 7:25. So we know exactly. So we look on our watch and we know. Okay. But like I said once, I met a Swiss man in Morocco, and he told me, we have the watch and they have the time. So, so for our religious plicht, obligation, we have this frame. So with Alot HaShachar, according to the halacha, that's considered already day, okay? The night is off. So that means that all the obligations you had by night are finished. Now, can we start everything from the day? No. But part of the things that we are obliged by the day, we can yes start from moment zero. Okay, so that's alot hashachar. It's considered the first time that there is a little light. Okay, so
You are not saying that in between the night and Adot HaShachar, and that there is a period when there are no mitzvahs.
okay, so no, never.
No,
Never.
exactly, no, of course not. Yeah.
Never,
Yeah.
but we will see there are periods. It's called Ben Hashmashot.
Yeah.
That there is a discussion if it's how do you say, if it's a halachic issue or if it's a status issue. That means
I understand.
if it's a zman safek or if it's a safek ilchati. That means do you have a doubt what to do or no? HaKadosh Baruch Hu create a time where it's a doubt time.
Yeah.
Where it's not Ukraine and it's not Russia. Till we don't have any accord end of the war, so we don't know if it's Ukraine or Russia. They are both there are tank from Ukraine is there and tank from Russia. So there are things who are that you can say according to a day, and there are things according to a night. So we are in a doubt. So in the Gemara, there is a doubt if the doubt is a real doubt or HaKadosh Baruch Hu create a certain period where it's not day and not night, like you said, that you cannot do what you are verplicht by day and you cannot do the things that you are verplicht by night because we don't know exactly what it is. But okay, if we want to proceed, I have to a little explain.
In the morning, you don't have the same?
Not exactly.
No.
Not exactly.
No, no banishment.
Okay, not Ben Hashmashot. But so we have the Alot HaShachar. The Alot HaShachar, so when we have a Tanis and the Shema, not a priori, because we will see that a priori it's really close to Netzach Hama. Close to Netzach Hama, we have to make Kriyat Shema. So we will see there are things that we can do. We have the space, and we have the ultimate time who has to be done in the reality. Okay, so the Tanis is beginning at Alot HaShachar. Okay, so we don't need not on Shivos or B'Tammuz, not on Asor B'Teves, not on Tanis Esther. We don't need to fast from the night. We need to fast only when it's day. When it's day, from Alot HaShachar. Okay? So there are, of course, like everything, a few, how do you say, a few opinions, how you calculate. So the first way to calculate is to say it's 90 minutes Zmaniot. I will explain it what is Zmaniot before sun set. Okay? Sunrise. Right.
That's the opposite.
Right.
Good that you understood what you.
Okay. So Lifnei Netzach Hama, 90 minutes. What are these 90 minutes? So normally we say 90 minutes Zmaniot. What is Zmaniot? That means that we say every day has 12 hours. So that means from beginning of the day till end of the day, we have 12 hours. How long are these hours? In the winter, they have 40 minutes, and in the summer, they have 90 minutes, okay? So that's a Sha'a Zmanit. 1 hour Zmanit is 60 minutes, well, not 60 minutes from our watch, but 60 minutes from Zmaniot. So in summer long, in winter cold. Okay, so this 90 in middle of the day, in the middle of the calendar, or in Ecuador, for example, all around the year. When you go in Guadeloupe or in St. Martin, more or less Shabbos
The same time.
all the same time. Yes, Shachis almost the same time. Not on the minute, but more or less in 1 hour the same time. When it's really on the equator, it's really the same time, winter, summer. Okay, so we have an hour of 60 minutes. But here, so we have 90 minutes, 90 minutes, how do we say, can be expended. After that, according to the, so that's according to the Gaon. The Gaon mi Vilna, he says 90 minutes. According to the Magen Avraham, that's the main, how do you say, Mefaresh on the Shulchan Aruch, he says 72 minutes, okay? In Yerushalayim, according to their calculations, 120 minutes, okay? So 2 hours Zmaniot before Netzach Hama, beginning the day. What is Netzach Hama? That's much more easy. Much more easy because when you look Netzach Hama from the non-Jewish calendar and the Netzach Hama what we have is more or less the same. Only the question is, for us, Netzach Hama is the beginning. That means when you begin to see the sun, it's Netzach Hama, not in the middle. Or the calculation by non-Jews who say when you see half of the sun, that's Netzach Hama. That's sure not for us. For us, the only discussion is Netz Anire or Netz Ameshori. What is Netz Anire, Netz Ameshori? I am living in Buitenvelde or in Amstelveen in a very open place. I see it at 7:23, and if I am living in center of Amsterdam, I don't see it till it's 7:24. And if I am living in Les Deux Alpes, I see it at 7:21 because I am on the top of the mountain, so I see already the sun a little 1 minute before. Okay, so that's a discussion. If it's what it's on the Meshor, what is on the Rabbi Posen, he was before the Oloch. He is a very, how do you say? He made the luach. Not only on the mikveh, he is a specialist, but on the luach. And when he was young, they left Germany and they were living for 3 years in Scheveningen. And his father, he went to all the Balebatim in Scheveningen and he told them, you know, we are German Jews. I think that better you leave Holland. And they say, oh, you've been a heck man, yeah. They will never come here, and we are not neutral. And they went with all the family to England, and they were saved. So when he was a young boy in the school in Scheveningen, he was going on the how do you say, on the sea,
yeah,
and on the beach, and he was lying on the beach in the morning to calculate when you see the sun. The sun.
Yeah, but it's impossible because the sun comes up in the east.
Okay.
So you don't see
see.
anything.
Scheveningen
When the sun sets, then
Okay,
isn't that
so maybe on the sunset he was.
complete see it.
So maybe it was on the sunset.
Hoef je niet op
kan niet
7
anders.
uur te
Hij
zijn.
kan ook verkeerd kijken.
Yes.
Hij kan in dood.
Yes, that's what he told me when he came here for checking the mikveh in Amsterdam. Okay.
Dat vind ik verder geen verhaal tussen.
so that's how do you say Netzach Hama. Netzach Hama is the time when we see the sun, and it's the time lekatchila for, like you say, in Jerusalem, but not only in Jerusalem, everywhere. Netzach Hama, that's the optimal time
Bij Israël. Yes.
for all Klal Israel to say, how do we say, Shmoneh Esrei, Shachris. Okay? So the Shmoneh Esrei, that's the optimal time. We have the zchut in Amsterdam that in winter, also for lazy people, it's very easy
Yeah.
to daven with the nets. In Israel, it's a bit more complicated. It's people have to go at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
And here, they can, how do we say, leave the house at 8 o'clock and still have the nets. Okay?
But I did know people that died
Yes.
already. Die went to the shul in Jerusalem somewhere,
Yes.
and it's all every day 1 minute later or
Yes.
2 minutes
Sure,
later.
Sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, in the past, it was there was a lot of luach and plate on the. But nowadays, you know, with the iPhone, you can have already, how do you say, a reminder 32 minutes before the net to start the broches, and 31
But
minutes.
it's very good for people. They liked it very much.
Yes.
If a shul has some windows
Yes.
and you could look outside, it is in the Shmoni Esrei.
Absolutely. It's really, if you don't look in the Shmoneh Esrei, you look before and you look after, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It was night and now it's day. It's really wow. It's to see this that in
U heeft het meegemaakt?
yeah, sure. That in a few minutes, it's really mi'afela le'ora.
Het is heel bijzonder als je dat mee mag maken, want het is heel vroeg natuurlijk.
So that's the Netzach Hama, okay? So what we said, Kriyat Shema is really samud. It's really next, a few minutes before we say the Shmoneh Esrei. So that's the optimal time also for the Shema. Now we have Sof Zman Kriyat Shema, the end of Kriyat Shema. So I will not tell you what my son tells me, that because that's a tshuva of Rav Yosef Chaim Sonnenfeld for lazy people. Okay. So Rav Yosef Chaim Sonnenfeld says what we say. So what is Sof Zman Kriyat Shema? Because Shema you have to say b'shacha when it's morning. When it's morning from the proletariat till the son of the king. Okay? So the proletariat is coming up early when it's, how do you say, when they can start to work, when it's already day, they can see outside, they go out. So you can start Kriyat Shema from this time till Bnei Melachim, the son of the king, he is coming 3 hours after, later, coming out of his bed. So he is making Kriyat Shema 3 hours later. Okay? So that's the frame that Chachomim gave. Says Rabbi Yosef Chaim Sonnenfeld, nowadays the son of the king, he goes very late up. So if you look people who has nothing to do and they have already the money in the bank account before they wake up, so they don't wake 3 hours. They how do you say, they go in a bar every night very late and they wake up very very late. So say Rabbi Yosef Chaim Sonnenfeld, that's the halachic frame. But he is only one.
Is it Jewish king or non-Jewish king?
No, any.
Generally.
It's nothing to do with Jews.
Die moest op tijd opstaan.
Oude gedachten, antiek.
Ja, zeker. Bij een vraag aan Willem-Alexander, hoe laat we opstaan?
Hoe laat u zag is dan?
Yes.
The son of the king.
Ja.
Dit heeft
Maar de
meisjes
son
alleen. hè?
Yes, because the king he has something
of
to
course,
do. But the son of the king.
Nee, Willem-Alexander.
Because he met the German Kaiser. Son of God.
Okay, so you know this way of speaking of Chazal is not per se the king. You have to understand. It's like we say, Ole al shulchan melachim. What we say about bishul akum. So we don't need to ask. Yes, but now we heard from Trump that Willem Alexander is eating hageslach. So hageslach is Ole al shulchan melachim. So they bring in Beth Midrash. I say rubbish. That's nothing to do. That means that normally for example, we buy frozen how do we say
Chicken,
vegetables by the king. They buy only fresh. So that's Ole al shulchan malachim. That means that's the way of malachim. The way of you go also. How do you say to Akura Hotel? It's okay. It's also Shulchan Melochim. That means Shulchan Melochim. That means.
Here in Amsterdam,
Yes.
very rich women are allowed to go by bike and not in
Yes.
Antwerp because the queen is using the bike.
Besef?
Yeah.
Besef? So yes, of course there is things that also the rabbis here are going with a bike. I know the Avbezin here. Is going by bike, but also Rav Tal was going by bike. But you never saw in Paris, not in Paris and not in London going. But that's okay because also Mark Rutte, he
back to the king.
Yes, so that's not a problem. So of course you can speak about kings, but it's not per se a king. That means it's more general to say yes, or how do you say that there are still people waking up? There was a discussion. We are speaking about. We have a time who is only for Hanukkah. What is the time of Hanukkah? We say we have to light on from beginning of the night. What is tichle regel min hashuk? That people are going back at home. Yes, so that means that there were not light outside. So that means people were finishing to work when it was night. So half an hour after it was night, they were already at home. So you need half an hour in your Chanukiah because that's the end of people going in the street. Of course, you can, you can discuss nowadays and to say, like the Briskerov, he was putting here a cinema next to Edison, next to his house in Geula. So he was putting oil till the last guy of the cinema was going out. But that's not halakha. Of course, he did it, but people, before they went to Kino, they went home. It was the second time that they went outside. So So there is a frame, okay? So what we said about Rabbi Yosef Chaim Sonnenfeld, the Shitas Yechido, it's only one opinion. Normally, I only say that my kids, they like this Shita, but how do we say? But
I see when they come in. Yes, I.
So normally it's the three first hours, yes. So from when it's beginning. So according to the Goen, it's from Netzach Hamor till Shkias HaChamor. So you have to calculate not from Alot HaShachar, not from night, but from Netzach Hamor to Shkias HaChamor.
Opkomen van de zon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Zonsopkomst.
Yes. Mogen Avram, he said no. It's from Alot HaShachar till night. Okay? So more or less, it's not a big difference because you take a very bigger frame because you take the 72 minutes before, 72 minutes after. So it's, how do we say, there is a difference, but the difference is not wow big. Okay? So normally it's half an hour, it can be a little more, the difference. Now, when is the end of Shachis? Shachis, that means the Birkoseo, that means the brochas of Shema. So sometimes the shuls who are, for example, like Kal Hasidim, making at 9:30 and the Zman Shema is before, so they have to do Kriyat Shema before, but they can still pray Shachis because if the end of Shachis is 10:40, so they have still time to make the Shmoneh Esrei and the Chazor Asashatz before end of Zman Tefillah, and the brochas of the Shema are part of Tefillah. Okay, it's considered a prayer. So you have 4 hours from the beginning of the day. Okay, and again you have the same machloikes between the Goen and the Mogen Avram. If we are beginning from Netzach Hamor till Shkias HaChamor, or from Alot HaShachar till night. Okay. Chatzos Hayom. When is midday? Midday is not 12, but it depends. Like you say, if
Summertime.
it can be 1:30, it can be 2 o'clock, and it can be also 11:40. Okay, so it's also a frame from 2 hours around 12 o'clock. So that's also in Yerushalayim. They have in front of a few shuls, they have a thing that you can see the sun. Yes. Oh, there is also in Amsterdam. No.
Have many places.
Yes.
Towns, you have sundials on
Zonnewijzers, ja.
Niet
speciaal.
No, but you have it somewhere in Amsterdam.
In parken staan een paar.
Apollo
You know if there is somewhere in the river?
Yeah,
No?
There
is a,
Ja, maar ze hebben
Zonnewijzer bij
Op de Nieuwe Kerk is er
oh, the
zo'n
Nieuwe
wijzer.
Kerk.
Ja, daar zie je om 12, om 1:10:30 is het middag.
En die
12 uur. Want ze hadden hier voor de oorlog de Amsterdamse tijd.
Maar kan in tuin,
Dat was
kan ik zelf
20 minuten verschil met Engeland. 40 minuten verschil met Duitsland.
You hear what he says? That before the Oorlog, there was
De
20 minutes.
Amsterdamse tijd, dat was 20 minuten verschil met Greenwich.
Ja.
40 minuten verschil met Berlijn. Want Greenwich-Berlijn is 15 breedte graden. En het is 4 graden per minuut. Dus je hebt ook een verschil tussen. Je had dus altijd de lokale tijd. Toen dus treinen begonnen te rijden.
Yes.
Als je met je paard van Amsterdam naar Zwolle ging, merkte je niet dat er 2 minuten verschil was. Maar toen de treinen gingen rijden, hadden ze dus behoefte aan een.
Maar voor de oorlog hadden we dus
tijd.
echt real time.
is-
That's Greenwich, maar dan op onze manier. Het is 20 minuten van Greenwich.
Dat is zoiets in de jaar 1880 of zoiets hebben ze die Nederlandse, Amsterdamse tijd heet het.
But
Maar
we
de
said
Duits-
in the last show, you remember that the Chazon Ish, he was more modern than you all because he said you can in the same continent you cannot have different times, so you need to put the Greenwich in the water.
Yeah.
You have to put it in the.
Ja, ze hebben in Engeland hebben ze in de jaren 70 hebben ze ooit een keer de klok niet teruggezet.
Yes.
Maar toen gingen de kinderen in Schotland in het donker, het was 10:30 werd het daar licht.
Yes.
Heeft
Yes, it's
heeft een van nog zelf die op de yeshiva in
Sunderland.
ergens in het noorden was,
Ja.
dat ze daar dan de wintertijd de zomertijd aanhielden.
Yes, absolutely. It's for us, you know, for us, all these things have an implication because if at night it's very, and how do you say, and we want to make, how do you say, the Seder, so we have to wait. If we want to make $1, we cannot go to bed, etc., etc. So there is a lot of things who have implication in our daily life. You know, yes.
Counting the Omer.
Yes,
Yes, of course.
a lot of things who are.
Maar je hebt ook, kan je de Luwach kijkt, als de klok straks de dagen weer langer worden nu, dan komt er soms dus soms komt er 's ochtends 5 minuten bij, dan gaat er 's avonds nog een uurtje af. En omgekeerd.
Yes.
Want het is een ellips.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. It's not, how do you say, that's what I say about the Magen Avraham. It's not, how do you say that if you make longer the alloys.
Soms komt er 's ochtends meer bij en dan gaat er 's avonds nog iets af of omgekeerd.
Absolutely. So, what is Mincha Gdoilo? When can we start Mincha? Only half an hour. So that's half an hour, 30 minutes after Chatzois. Okay. So we have here, for example, when we daven Erev Yom Kippur Mincha Gdoilo. So every time we can, when it's already winter time or it's still summertime, it's a big difference, how to say, when we can start Mincha. So also for example, I try to, when I travel, I try to daven in Schiphol before I take off, and that's sometimes it's really to see when it's Mincha Gdoilo. If I have my flight at 1:30 or 2 o'clock, sometimes it's before, sometimes it's after. Okay, so according to most of the poskim, the best is to pray Mincha Ktano. What is Mincha Ktano? Mincha Ktano is 9.5 hours from beginning of the day. That means it's, how do you say, how many hours before night or Shkiat HaChama, according to Magen Avraham?
5 kwartier. Dus 1 hour and 15 minutes out.
No.
Twice, yeah.
No, because if it's 9.5, so 9.5, you take from 12, so 12, so it's 2.5 hours before or Shkiat HaChama or night. Okay, so what?
Plug mincha is half.
Oh, that's Plaga Mincha.
Plaga Mincha.
Plaga Mincha is half. So, what is Plaga Mincha? Plaga Mincha is a concept who says in the Gemara that you can pray mincha before plag and mariv after plag. So that's plag hamincha. Plag, that means the half of the mincha time. So you can pray mincha before, mariv after. So what we say, what is shkiat hachama? Shkiat hachama is that the sun is going down. So there is a machloikes, a very big machloikes. What is the sun down? Is the beginning of sun down, or its beginning when it's end of the sun going down? So that's the machloikes between the Go'onim and Rabbeinu Tam. And here, before the Oloch, it was totally different than after the Oloch. Before the Oloch in Europe, they were doing Rabbeinu Tam, or here in Amsterdam called the Minchat Kohen. He was a chief rabbi here by the Portuguese. So they made very late night. So also Friday evening, they were doing Shabbos when it was the end of the Shkia. But after the Oloch, all around the world, also when the Satmar came in America, and they decided that we have to unify Klal Israel and no more melachot. They will no accept Shabbos after the sun is beginning to going down, and all around the world they are making night more or less at the same time. There are people who are machmir Rabbeinu Tam, but that's the situation about Shabbat. Here in Amsterdam, they have one thing that Rav Schuster asked Rav Shlomo Zalman, and he said, don't change, let the people. It's about Tisha B'Av. That's really particular of Amsterdam, that people are eating till half an hour before night on Tisha B'Av. In the rest of the world, when it's already Shkiat HaChama, when it's they don't eat more on Tisha B'Av.
What's the definition between beginning of sunset and end of sunset?
It will depend.
When you can first see the first part of the sun disappear.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That can be.
It can be 70 minutes. It can be in Israel. It's in 20 minutes. It's already off. But here it can be 70 minutes.
What about the 3 stars?
What become really night in the middle of the summer?
Oh,
Tanis Sheves Tammuz always begins at midnight.
Okay.
It's,
there's a suffix if it's when can you start the day?
It's not really night.
Yes, absolutely. Here, that's the question of course, in Enschede, in Scheveningen, that there is in the summer here times that it's not really night. But that's also in St. Petersburg. I was once, and there are places in the world that it doesn't get strong dark in very high summer.
What about the 3 stars?
Oh, so there is 2 opinions in the Gemara. If Shalosh Kochaviot Benoniot, that means middle star, not the big stars that you see straight, not the little ones that you need that it's very dark, but the betweens. So that's another time who is bringing the Gemara, and that's exactly what. So we do like this for Motzei Shabbos. We do the 3 stars, and so that's you are answering already. How can it be that people are accepting Shabbos according to the Minchas Kohen very late, and they go out of Shabbos with the 3 stars? So that's the answer, because there is a Gemara who say what is night, 3 middle stars. So they are looking at the 3 middle stars, and they are how do we say, getting out of Shabbos. Okay, we have more.
We have to see it. to say that the main
No,
one is enough.
one is enough.
One
You
is
don't
enough.
need the two
You can
witnesses.
say I saw it.
Yes,
And then it's
absolutely,
okay.
absolutely. But you have to be sure.
You have to be sure.
Yeah, you have to be sure, not to say,
No,
okay,
no,
it was a fire, how do you say,
Okay.
how do you call it?
I like to be. Yes, big stars.
Nothing.
I know, but
No,
I have to
no.
ask you. I know.
No, but no sugar.
No, I know.
I don't.
Only ask you. I know.
I
Okay,
have
Skoy.
already, Baruch Hashem, lost a few kilos.
Yeah? Okay. Was very interesting. Can we make another appointment?
Yes, sure.
Sure. You have told me after 17 November. I'm free.
Okay.
Tell me when you're here.
Okay.
Zo.
Interessante, interessante ochtend geweest.
Nou, mooie start van het nieuwe
Ja, heel mooi.
seizoen.
Ik neem overzicht van hem mee, van meneer Kou.
Ja. Wat je zegt. Heel interessant. Ja.
For me, we have the feast of the Immaculate Conception on the 8th of December.
We don't do
December?
that.
You want
We don't do
December?
that.
What?
We don't do
You don't fast. So we can do it, so there will be cake. Okay, 8th December.
8 December?
8 December.
Okay.
11.
Wow.
Okay, I have to. Oh, I'm back. Then I'm back.
Ja.
Again.
I have, how do you say, I am very, I do for my calendar is for all religions. You need to be very ecumenic. Not that I fast, or this fast, yes.
Okay, 11, 8 December 11. I think it's the first Monday I'm back again.
Okay, very good. Have a good trip.
I don't remember. I hope to see you before.
Een heleboel kalenders die beginnen op maandag.
Ja.
Ik kan er niet aan wennen.
De kalenders beginnen op
Nee, de gewone kalenders.
gewone kalenders beginnen op maandag. En hier ook mijn telefoon.
That you can change.
Ja, oké. Maar
In de apotheekkalender.
Shabbat zondag, zaterdag zondag en maandag is het
Afspraak.
ook, hè?
En dan had ik opgeschreven bij
Maar voor Jewish days also.
Yes,
in het midden van de week.
Oké, Skoyer.
Ja.
Toen ben ik daar woensdag naartoe gegaan. Dat was het donderdag.
Ja.
Want in donderdag staat
Ja, hier staat op de andere plek.
dat is zo irritant.
Welkom back, everybody.
Woensdag ben jij weer aan 11, ja, klopt.